Merry New Year, or as we say in this country, Happy New Year. Eddie Murphy, boy, he is really a funny guy. That's Yatza. That was lots of years ago when he did that. Wasn't that like Coming to America? He had so many great movies, and I think he's still doing movies. I'm Jason Schwartz, your host here at the Neutral Zone, MauiNeutralZone.com. We are at 88.5 FM, KAKU, the voice of Maui, simulcast on Akaku Maui Community Media, television to us oldsters, but media. You can also find us at MauiNeutralZone.com on YouTube. If you put YouTube.com and the @ symbol Dream Maui 1, you'll find all our shows, and you'll find so much stuff up there. You'll say, boy, you do a lot of things. We've been doing this a long time in different ways for more than 30 years. I was in the first class here at Akaku Maui Community. Should I say the word television? I guess so. And that was like way back, I want to say 1993. And it was not too long after that, a couple incarnations of really good directors. We got Jay April, and he's been here for a good long while, and he's done, I think, an excellent job, not only of choosing really good people and being able to keep them, because I hope it's great work conditions, excellent pay. I know pay can't be excellent because the DCCA, which we just had that live meeting, a few weeks ago, we're trying to stop the action of giving money back to Spectrum or giving less to public access media here. And the public response was great and strong and pretty well one-sided that we really need Akaku here. We don't need to take away resources for them, especially after the fire, which diminished the number of clients, customers, which also reduced the overall number. So it's very important. We had guests today, but that guest couldn't make it. And so last night I called someone that I thought would be on next week. They still will be on next week. Two young ladies, Jessica and Taryn, who are running, well, they'll tell you, an art show with artists that used to have galleries that don't have galleries anymore. And I'll talk, I'm sure, later in the show. The Gallery Without Walls, when I started here, and I remember when I got audited, like, why are you auditing? I would like to have someone come to this Gallery Without Walls. It was the same, I only remember because the same year they were talking about Jeff Bezos has these huge warehouses with books, and everyone was laughing at him. Keep laughing, people. The idea of selling things online has caught on. Maybe you've noticed. Maybe you've noticed that in real estate deals, they use signatures that are digital now. It isn't unreasonable to think that we can be ahead of our time with ideas. And I'm glad I'm going to bring these two ladies on. I hope to have them work with me. And I want to say, help the Maui Arts and Music Association be that global brand that we've been talking about for 30 years. But it takes young and new energy. Some of you are old enough to remember when I ran for council, not this last time against Tasha. That was not it. I ran in 1992, 94, 96, and 98. 98, I jumped out. The whole thing was and is a giant thing that I can't reach unless we all reach it together. So I'm excited, to have young blood in the art promotion industry. Obviously, a Gallery Without Walls for people in Lahaina, but also the whole world needs to embrace solutions they can do. And that's what our organization, Maui Arts and Music Association, was established for. So this year you're going to see all kinds of interesting things that I'm going to do. I hope you'll find them interesting. You like music, you like art. Well, we're going to be out there sponsoring and initiating regular shows that will allow for more art to be shown and purchased, and portion of everything go into Mama for environmental solutions. You've heard me talk about it, but this year I'm adding a new element, and that element is, until all the licenses are done, I'm not even going to really speak about it too much, but I am really excited because 2525 is definitely an exciting year to be alive. We are going from the United States of America to the two sides of the states of America. It's interesting when I hear the Democrats and the Republicans talking about red and blue states, and they say, well, there's a couple of spots of blue inside of this mainland of America. I'm convinced that the people of the red spots, that's the Republicans, in time will see that things can be accomplished by taking down the walls and mixing red and blue. And then we have purple. And purple is a health color, very much healthier. I'm happy to see that we're going to see something like that maybe we'll get some science and get out some of what has been. It's hard to say what's going to happen. The World Health Organization and Bill Gates and all that's talking about the coating of all our produce. There's so many things that are fighting the, I want to say, natural sanity, when most of the world, most of the world and all the countries ban products that have different things on them and in them. And here in the United States, we're dragging, and we're huge consumers. It's very crazy, but true that, they're owned by Americans, sold to Americans, and we're dying like Americans, too. We're having operations. We have great healthcare systems, and we're improving our quality of healthcare. Now you can, when you have a problem with a knee or a hip or your heart's good, they just put in new pieces. And can't even believe in the kind of time in my lifetime. I was born in 1951. Let's round it off and say 1950. Well, in 1950, that's 75 years ago. So, yep, you're right. I'm coming on 74 in April. But 75 years ago, technology, we had technology. We were out of the dark ages. We were out of the covered wagon stage. We had automobiles going on, and the First World War happened. Lots in between, by the way. And then the Second World War, and then, wait a minute, we got out 45, 50. Technology started to be gripped, and the love of and convenience of a lifetime of a house and a car and a picket fence and a couple of kids or more and going to church and living this progressive, productive, happy life. And then we kept having kids, and we kept having more consumer and more cars and more of this and more of that. And there used to be beautiful open space. We didn't think much about open space when I was living for New York. We had some lack of open space for sure, but I lived on Long Island. We could drive 10 or 15 minutes and be in rural New York, if you will, out on Long Island. And then it started to fill in, and then after college, when I moved to California, and they had a law that they had to change the law because L.A. was supposed to have changed their environment and stop the great growth of cars and pollution. That was 1973, 4. That was, wow. I moved in 73. So imagine they pushed it back to 1980, 1990. I think they keep pushing it back, or it's I guess pretty much unenforceable. Or if it is enforceable, someone that's enforcing doesn't feel it's that important because L.A. is crazy. Wait a minute. So is most everywhere because that growth has kept happening. And now we have a new president who, after we, as a country, took advantage of cheap labor elsewhere so that we could make our products and build in more, I want to say greed. It really is greed. The price of our products, when you look on some of these other systems to see what does an American dollar buy, for $9 you can buy a fancy pair of shoes and slacks. What am I talking about? You can buy that for $4, $5. What? A mini camera that they charge $59, $49. When you buy 10 of them, it's $39. You can get them for $3. What's that? Now we're going to think about making things here in America. Well, let's see. If the companies that have to do it are paying a tariff that's higher, so they're going to get it from somewhere else, they're still going to be able to get products from somewhere else way cheaper than this ramp up for most of the things that we need in our world. So it's not going to be that quick to solve this problem, and it's going to cause a lot of financial pressure to people that are used to all these things. And maybe we'll learn to have less cars, and we have to have pollution controls coming, and we now are, wait, we're not in that thing with the world? Because why? Again, America first. America first in a world where together, how about the world? The world first? We are first. We're not going to lose our position of first. We can do it responsibly, though, and I would like to think to talk to the wisdom of everyone in that one. All of us can be personally responsible. Boy, I'm on a rant today. Well, that's good. I have time. Our guests that aren't here, that's going to be another show. But there's a lot of things happening that I thought that the licenses would be through and I'd be announcing it here. But very important this 2025. You know, I've been Dream Makers Foundation. That's a name I don't use very much. Dream Makers Foundation of Maui. But a dream plus action, a vision plus action can make a result. And, you know, I've been in a studying process since 1988 when I got here, but 91 when we formed the Maui Arts and Music Association and started giving it all kinds of various names. Appropriate. Dream Makers Foundation of Maui, PAPA, People Aligned in Positive Action. And I've done a lot of stuff. You've seen me doing shows now for years on Akaku Maui Community Media about all kinds of stuff. Much of it, almost all of it, except some of the earlier stuff that I, you know, when you have to copy hundreds and hundreds of shows into different mediums to then transfer them up to the web slow as an individual, there's probably 600 or 700 of my shows up there. I've been really fortunate, just that there are a lot of people that would like to speak about all kinds of subjects that don't get coverage often on the main media. They kind of limited me understanding that during political years when it came to doing shows, but I would do interviews. I haven't done them in the last, I did a couple of people asked me if I wanted to do shows, but I've been doing them for 15, 16 election cycles. That's 32 years. That's a long time. And some are the same people still that were there then. And some of them are still trying. Some of them are not trying quite as hard. You wonder. I think everyone goes in with a plan to make a change, and then they go into the realities of politics and see that it takes negotiation. One gentleman who made that real clear to me was Joe Suki when he was on our show, one of our shows. He talked about the fact that you really learn to compromise, and that be really important in being a legislator. Some of our legislators are doing that and are very progressive out there, a lot of more things going on that are behind the scenes. Someday they'll make medical marijuana and regular marijuana legal, and all the other different aspects of that. Still being monitored, but legal. That's fine. This is me talking. You know, someone said, you sound like sort of like an economically conservative guy. Well, if they knew me personally, they wouldn't say that. But economic conservative policies with socially liberal policies. And I firstly wonder, socially liberal policies, why do any of us, especially Christians, Jews, Muslims, most of the religions that are common in my mind, why are we hurting each other? Why are we even thinking of needing a social liberal? Isn't everyone, shouldn't we all be tolerant of everyone? I'm just looking at the clock. I am glad I have glasses because we still have a lot of time. We have glasses. Those of you that want to hear me talk, you're going to have to wait a little bit. This is KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui, also found on Akaku Maui Community Media Channel 55. You can find us at MauiNeutralZone.com. You can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/@DreamMaui and the numeral 1. Some of those other Dream Maui channels are going to be used real soon for other things. So you ever notice these radios? We just had a recent sale. Very sadly, and many of us that know a lot of the local DJs and people on neighboring stations, Visionary Media, KAOI, and 7 other channels were all sold to Akamai Broadcasting, which we all hope to get to know. And they've already put new programming on 6, at least, I read, of the 8 channels. And that means 6 channels worth of people. So I don't know where they're working or what's going on there, but that was pretty shocking to our small local economy. It again made us realize that this tech thing, this internet, this thing that makes us equal in some global way, is taking away from our local culture. Just like when small stores started to close because big box stores started coming here. I was here for all that. You know, I'm sure people before me, I got here in 88. But I remember when people told me, oh, it's not like it was. And I can say, even when going 88 or 98 or 08 or 18, it's not like it was. We're in a different world. We have different problems. Some accelerated and multiplied because we didn't handle it back then. So some of you politicians who are still around from back then, you're going to tell me, because we didn't get the cooperation. I remember when I got boxed out after I'd booked the Cultural Center for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day the first year. That's a story you've heard me tell tidbits of. But we're going to change that because we're going to start doing things and booking things in this coming year because of different kinds of income streams that I hope to see you, all of you all around the world, cooperate with us and create, you can call it a miracle. You know, and you learn that in Hebrew. I've a guy that was from Israel, my old partner, Jack Feingold, he told me that the word business is really 2 words in Hebrew, biz and nes. Biz means activity, and nes is miracle, business. Create a lot of activity, create a miracle. Well, we've created a lot of activity. The miracle is all of this, since I got here, I see a way it all fits together. And it all fits together with you. I'm not really doing anything. I have a little part. I sing, I talk a little bit here and there, but this is a holistic thing because I'm not looking for a plan that has red states and blue states. I'm not looking to have a local plan that has locals and people that come here later that are different camps. I think we're all together in this. And here locally, we have that opportunity. I've seen in my years here, I've been here now 36 years, so much love that goes across all boundaries. You know, I have a friend for, I guess, 36 years, Lono. Lono's now over in Molokai. No boundaries. You know, I think that it's only a perception and maybe fueled by the fact that we're not seeing significant change and progress in remedying situations here. Seems that our political system here has pushed these things into little 2-year and 4-year and 6-year blocks where people try to accomplish things between elections. And then they have to run again, and then something changes and priorities change. Well, there could be a self-sustained system here on Maui that'll keep us going whether the world goes left or right. And I'm looking forward to introducing it here this year. You're part of it, so you got to stay tuned. You can plug in where you want, but I'm very excited to be part of it. 2025. Sadly, one of the first things I heard in 2025 and the last things I heard in 2024 were unbelievable noise coming from fireworks. I like fireworks. In fact, Ariel and I, almost like a tradition, watching fireworks up on our big screen at home with fireworks all over the world. Beautiful, beautiful, exciting. And I know that here locally it's been a tradition to blow off fireworks, but when the fireworks are at a size and scale that can cause horrific personal injury, I don't know what we can do about stopping people. We can stop the whole thing, and I'm sure that would create an outrage to many people, and we all could get used to it, right, of only seeing it on a screen. But I understand local tradition, but how do we keep it not to be scaled up to where $12,000 spent on fireworks, and if you put it all together in one place, and I can't even imagine, but just outrageous to me that we could have these kind of problems. But maybe you need to have a license to be able to purchase fireworks. That would be an interesting concept. Maybe, what do you think of that? I like that one. Then you can have fireworks, again, only up to a certain size, but you also have to have a license to purchase them. So you have to be almost like a gun permit. And we have to make it so we don't have these issues coming on into our world here. Some people would want to ban it completely, and I've given thought to that, and I don't know. I think that's going to be a giant resistance, create a giant underground, and I would just like that underground may exist anywhere, no matter what we say. But I think that it would be better if we made regulation and learn to restrict it with sense. I don't even know if I could be qualified to be part of that discussion. But I know I hate seeing when people are having more like warlike injuries than, quote, peacetime. Can you imagine this is called peacetime in America? You know, in a few days, we're going to have a new president. If we know that they're going to have on Friday, Congress is going to certify the last election. And then all this stuff is just, it sure doesn't sound like peacetime to me. Anyway, I'm going to take a break here. But to you guys, it's not a break. You're going to get some music. Here's one. This one's Stardust Road. When I lived out in the country, I used to dream of money and fame. 1976.
When I lived out in the country, I used to dream of money and fame. So me and my girlfriend Margot came out to L.A. And while Margot was a waitress and I was a fixing cars, we kept it all together for pretending we were stars. Margot was in the movies, and I was singing the rock and roll. We would go out by the highway to a make-believe place called Stardust Road. And we made believe it was spotlights from the cars passing on their way. The roar of the engines was our crowd as we got up on the stage. The trees are full of people calling for us to begin. And we played all night 'cause that highway crowd kept calling us back again. They would stand and call our names out loud and beg us not to leave. And if anyone could see, we gave them a memory to last forever. Well, now Margot is in the movies, and my album has just gone gold. The phone's been ringing off the wall, and I can't find time alone. So when Margot's tired of interviews and I can't sing another song, we go back out to the highway, to the place we still call Stardust Road. And we make believe it's spotlights from the cars passing on their way. The roar of the engines was our crowd as we got up on the stage. The trees are full of people calling for us to begin. And we played all night 'cause that highway crowd kept calling us back again. Yes, we do our show on Stardust Road because it keeps us free. And if anyone can see, we give them a memory to last forever. To last forever. To last forever.
This is for the closing credits of the movie. Stardust Road. I always like that ending. You know, it's like when you see the credits at the end and it just keeps going, like the opening of Star Wars with the battleship that keeps going and going. Well, that's what I think of that song ending, because that's the end of the credits in the movie Stardust Road. In this day and age, One can take one's lyrics, put them into the computer, and have it spit out a video. Aren't we in an amazing time? I look at that amazing time and think, look at my lifetime. Way back when I had to take a piece of paper and a pencil, and I had to say, okay, beginning, end, here's this piece, and that piece goes with this story and that story, and I want the image to go there, and I have to describe it in words and put it in. And now we put the words in and we say, hey, Siri. I'm afraid to do it. My phone will go off. It did already. I don't think it'll respond to me. It caught, hey, Siri, I'm afraid. Okay, stop it, Siri. What a world we live in. But that's what's going on. I find it amazing. In the last 70, that music you heard was 49 years ago. I think to myself, am I that old? 49 years ago? I was in the studio. The one that wrote the strings for that was a guy named Tom Chase. And I remember that Tom Chase, when he was writing my string parts, was giving guitar lessons to Barbra Streisand and teaching her chords. And the chords were the song, Love, soft as an easy chair. Remember Evergreen? Love, as fresh as the morning air. Those are the days when people were singing live. And those are the days when people were composing. Now you can compose and sing it. I can't complain. It makes it easier for me, but I think of all the people that are getting, excuse me, kind of out of the picture. You know, we're getting rid of government. We're going to lose all these employees and make our budget go right. We're going to streamline this, and we go to the Costco now. Instead of walking in and having someone check to see if you're real, now they have this electronic thing that will scan it and do it. Well, and then there are people standing there to teach you how to do this. First they had one on each side standing, and now they have one in the middle. And so it's, what are we doing? Are we going to re-employ our people, or are we going to eliminate them? We have to teach them how to be self-sufficient. What? So we're in a total redesign of the human race, what it means to work. You know, there's still manual stuff, but we could tie that manual stuff toward the manual things that we need in our lives. You sort of see what I'm seeing with the Maui? If we had food and it was grown, we already have a Maui hub, right? They're working in cash. But now, what if we also build housing? What if we also then can create job cycle in tech? Well, we have to work and put this together, but how do people get paid? Well, on an island, we're going to find a unique way of doing this to be able to bring in new capital and to be able to use what we have efficiently and create a self-sustainability model, at least for our little model. And I know it can be scaled up, but first needs to be, like we talked about education systems in the past. People want local control, not state control or federal control, local control, because education here has different things that it needs. It may have some basics for some testing score that's national, and we all need to have a certain aptitude. But there are lots of things that don't get taught because they're not being brought into a local curriculum because we're being so, Scott Bushnell, my co-host, talks about all these different levels of bureaucracy. So, but we have to do something with those people, right? So, coming soon, like I said, coming soon, when everything is in place in my side, I'm going to be announcing what my whole idea is and asking you to be part of it. So, I think you're going to like it because it's you, and the beneficiaries of it are you guys. Like I said, I'm old. I'm not worried about me. I don't need to pile money. I don't have any kids or grandkids. I have relatives, but all my relatives are well-to-do, at least more well-to-do than I am, and they're not expecting anything from me. That's good because I'm giving my stuff to our world and our island. There are a lot of old people out there that, we'll talk about it. You know, we talk about the missing, hidden society and people that are out there in these. They're like housing graveyards. People live in them as old people, but what are we doing with those people? What are they doing with themselves? Are we keeping activity and things going on to keep people young? Or we have them and we get them healthy and we put them in there, and if they got a problem, we operate and keep them living, and then we have even more of a housing problem. We have lots of things to talk about and lots of ways that we can be helping these situations. And so that's going to be coming up in a future show. But right now, I like this. I'm going to take another musical break. There's a guy named David Frazier. I look forward to sitting down and talking to him because I'm going to be singing his song. I thought it was Wednesday, but it's Thursday. I think it's 10:30 or 11 o'clock in the morning at Maui's Coffee Attic in Wailuku there, right before the bridge as you're going out of Wailuku. You go to the right and park, and there's a music by Simple Pleasures Band, John and Ames and Marianne and whoever else they may have as guest players. But they asked me to sing this song, got to be a month or two ago, and I liked the song, and when I saw it was David Frazier, I thought, I've seen that name. David Frazier plays at the Coffee Attic all the time. So I'm looking forward to meeting him and talking to him. But this song, I really like this song. It's called Be the One.
Some poor soul is in trouble. Someone's under the gun. Somebody's got to go and help right now. And you've got to be the one. Wandering round in circles, lost in the dark on the run. Someone needs to go and shine some light, and you've got to be the one. Be the one. Be the one. The one to help save the day. Be the one. Be that one. The one to help pave the way. One to help share the burden. One to be someone's friend. One to catch somebody falling down. Reach out with a helping hand. Why are we here? Where are we going? What are we trying to get done? Somebody's got to speak out now, and you've got to be the one. Many of us have been lucky somehow to make it through. We work real hard to get where we are, but there's still a lot more to do. So be the one, be the one, be the one who won't back down. Be the one, be that one. One to turn things around. One who's full of forgiveness. One to be brave and bold. One who's willing to tell the truth when the truth needs to be told. People painted into a corner, struggling from day to day. Up in the air, down on their luck, needing to find their way. Be the one, be the one, be the one to make things right. Be the one, oh, be that one, willing to fight that fight.
Be the One, David Frazier. Thank you, David Frazier, for writing that song. I saw that MEO gave him an award for that song. I don't know if it was written right before or after or what, but it was really designed and I guess came into being around the time of the wildfire there on the west side. But really a great song and a very important song if we embrace those words. Here's another song. You've heard me play this one before also, and I'm going to play it again because I think it's a great song. Years ago, it won an award, but you know, these old songs, they're not old to a new world. And isn't that what the entertainment people do? They take an old song and play it new. And they always say, you know, things are recycled. I remember when they were changing from records to cassettes, and then cassettes to 8-tracks, and then to CDs, DVDs, all these different steps. And they used the same artist. They were recycling what they knew were going to sell. And, you know, but now with all these things going on in the world, certain things have been brewing for a long time that haven't seen the light of day, like Stardust Road. And here's another one. This is the one that I don't remember what year it won a song festival in Canada. Peace in Our Hearts by our own Louise Lambert.
Every day worlds are born and worlds die away. Seems like now the world's so small, we see it all right here on our TV. Seems like the more we bridge the distance, the harder it becomes for us to see. Well, if all the world's a stage, we're actors in a play with an ancient script of fear and doubt and greed. To write another page, to find a better way. Reverence for life is what we need for peace in our world, for peace in our country, for peace on our street, peace in our house. It starts with peace in our hearts. We fear the dark, we mortgaged all our future to keep the hooded horsemen from the door. We're talking peace, but building bigger weapons, so he's closer than it ever was before. But in the land of the free and the home of the brave, why do so many people need a gun? If it were just you and me, the world could be saved. 'Cause deep inside, we know what must be done for peace in our world, for peace in our country, for peace on our street, peace in our house. It all starts with peace in our hearts.
Let's think peace in our hearts. Let's ask
Seems like there's something we forgot, something real close to home. As we see life through the eyes of a child, we find again the truth we've always known. For peace in our world,
make it an extra special effort to reach out with peace. I have seen people pull out guns. I've seen craziness, all because of the frustrations that they're seeing in their lives right now. I don't know why I brought up guns, except guns seems to be part of a problem now. People are using automobiles, but here, that's so crazy. Here on this island, I've seen just recently a real, maybe my ears are closer to the ground, but it seems like there's a lot more anxiety in the air and a lot more anger being expressed than times past. I hope we can transition into this new presidency. We've just changed, we just inaugurated again our new council. There were no changes at all in our council here locally. And so I wonder where the changes are going to be happening. There are lots of groups springing up ideas, and I know that there's probably being initiated right now in different council offices, different bills. I'm hoping that all of you that have ideas that want to contribute go to these council people and express your desires. Maybe even you have a roadmap on how to do it. Or maybe you want to talk to someone about how they voted on different things because you really never understood why they would vote that way when here's the reasons why it had been otherwise. Well, you may not be able to change that, but you'll be able to change the next vote by sitting and talking. And if you're not, you'll say to yourself, well, if we don't have any change and I want something to be different, what are we doing to make that difference happen? Shouldn't we be bringing new people in, or shouldn't we be having people there that are somehow more responsive to things that we, whoever that be, individuals or groups, are saying? And that's where the political process, again, we go back to that thing, this cycle of every 2 years, 4 years, we get people in there, or like now, no change at all, and yet we're expecting and wanting to see things change. And that just means to me that it's going to be the same old excuses of why we can't. That's not acceptable to me. That's why you hear me constantly using my dream brain to try to figure out how to make things work. There are ways to make things work that don't require much, if any, legislation change. It takes different ways of cooperating and different ways of thinking, coming from a peaceful, cooperative brain. And, they say the best deal is where you don't take all the chips off the table, but everyone gets to have chips from the table so that you can keep playing. Otherwise, if you take all the chips, what good is being a king in your castle and eating all the best things when all those around you aren't? That's, to me, not the way to live. The way to live is, how can this world around me be enjoying what I'm enjoying and raise the level of all ships? I like that expression. I've heard it for years. A rising tide raises all ships. That sounds nice. Let's see how we can implement that. When people are losing jobs or things are changing, how can we make it better? How can we help and make it better? How can we help and make it better? Wherever we turn, we see need. How can we make it better? Well, it's interesting. I'm finding myself sound like a preacher. I don't want to do that, at least not yet. I have lots of friends that are preachers. In fact, I have one on my board, Reverend Rayfield Johnson, who taught me to drop my buckets where I am and mend my buckets to catch the rain for which we are hoping for. So here we are. We're going to mend our buckets where we are. We're going to see what we can do to make it better so we can catch this rain and abundance. I hope that you're with me because we have a chance here on Maui to stand out and be an example to the world by the level of success we have in serving all our people, getting more housing, establishing more food, getting more education, and elevating our cultures and understanding of what's going on here, serving tourism and serving the local people in a way that we can be that example. Well, I hope to be that example. We've been that example in little pockets, but we just want to be promoting it. And, for example, that gallery without walls, imagine all the art that, never mind Lahaina, but surely you can't not mind Lahaina. We need to get ourselves to the world and have the world in helping us also build the environmental solutions here that we can then share with them that they work. 442 left. 442, like the Japanese group over here, the 442. You know, I remember when Deidre Tiergarten took over as their chief, and I guess they've been very visible, and she's done a really good job with them and made them more visible. We knew them from now, but I'm glad that she's getting it out in the age where the young people can still remember all the brave heroes that we've had in the past. And may we replace those fighting brave heroes with those that will avoid peace. Not avoid peace. What are you saying? Avoid war, avoid fighting by speaking. Maybe we can find a way to de-escalate. We know it's not surely out there in the world. We see it going on right now, but we can sure start right here at home and create this example. No examples in anything seems to happen overnight, but with diligence and awareness, this can happen pretty quickly. There's technologies right now that can be implemented and make a huge, huge difference right here, right now. And we have 3 minutes left, so I'm going to play a song, and then I'm going to come back and say goodbye. Here's one Lono wrote. I think it's a great song. It's called Then I Do. If you're getting married.
There is no other one. What I feel here for you, holding you in my arms, cradle you with my love. You're all dressed in white, looking in your eyes. Tell all the world tonight I'll be falling. You're my shining star from this day on. I'll be your friend, I'll be by your side. Blessed are we this night. Shower us with His love. Will you be mine tonight? Giving you all my love. And when we look back at our wedding day, this band of gold that we will share, never-ending love for all my life, then I do.
Then I Do, written by Lono. He's a really great songwriter. He's also doing things that are over in Molokai. with ukulele and camp and teaching people and still performing. Great guy. Anyway, we have just a few seconds left. Thank you all for joining us here at the Neutral Zone. Go to MauiNeutralZone.com. You can see all our shows there, or YouTube at Dream Maui #1. Or you can go in Maui Stream and ask for us also. That's Akaku's online connection. Thank you again for joining us. We'll see you next week when we'll have Taryn and Jessica talking about art. We're out of here. Blessings to you. Everyone be healthy, be safe. Happy New Year.